We are glad that you are able to take benefit from these sessions. And yeah, anything anybody else would like to share before we start today's session?
Yes.
I just would like to say that I've been I had the privilege of learning the BK techniques, and I've been practicing it for a while, maybe 10 years or over. And I totally believe in quantum healing and uh, what you explained yesterday. But I'm happy that Ashok also started believing in it more. And thanks for that help a lot. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
and next year we are planning to come back, and he's going to be so much better that we'll be able to share with our example, how it helps.
That's so nice. Yeah. And people, they really get inspired when they hear from others who really use it practically. And that is what is actually wisdom. When you not just listen to the knowledge or gather information, but you practically implement that knowledge in your day-to-day life, then you will be called as a wise soul. Right?
Yes, right.
Thank you.
And you, everything was so well organized and really nice. And Shwetank, you explained quantum physics really
it was
well.
wonderful.
But I
Really
just sent a
wonderful.
link, a YouTube video of an animated presentation of quantum physics. In case
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll look at it. Yes, okay, and others can look at it too if this could help you too, I'm sure. All right, thank you, Ashokji, thank you.
Okay, anyone else would like to say anything before we begin today's session? Yes, I think Nishaji, you are saying something, but we cannot hear you.
First, we have to ask whether your cat wants to say something or you want to say something. Yeah.
There's a cat. Yeah, I can see now. I didn't see a cat over there. Yeah, no, you have to unmute. You'll have to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you clearly.
I just want to say thank you once again. Om Shanti, good morning to everybody. It was a very enriching weekend. Very, very uplifting. I just needed that extra dosage because I do this. I mean, of course, not this. This is so much at a deeper level. I'm more into, psychiatry. But I was just thinking, how should I put this? It's sometimes good to hear. It's not all the time because especially during this pandemic and this crisis that we are going through, I have to keep giving assurances and keep letting people know there's much more, giving them a lot of hope and assurance, and being, as I said, on the other side of table, on the receiving end. And it was so calm. I just needed that. I really needed this. So I cannot thank you guys more than, I don't know how to express myself. So for everything that you've done, your time, your efforts, the way you put everything together has been really very beneficial for me. And it was needed. If y'all would have had it in Atlanta, I would have even driven there. I just needed that. So thank you. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Who knows, we might come back to New Orleans as
Perfect.
soon as this. Yeah, we'll drive down to New Orleans. We love that.
That would be wonderful. So please email me when you guys come over. I would love to meet with you too.
Our pleasure, for sure.
Are you all planning to come here?
No, not right now, but as soon as all this clears up and right now, congregating is not the best idea either, right? If
Yeah.
as soon as things get better, we want to come. We came to New Orleans, I guess 2 times, but after that, in the past 7 8 years, we haven't come there. And it's a beautiful place, and we will. One.
Yes. And also, I am definitely going to look into the Raj Yoga as well and see, contemplate a little bit more on how to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Shrikant bhai, how do we explain it the way you explain it? I don't know if I could ever do that.
No, you could do it even better.
No way. Gosh, so I may have to read this. I may have to go through that link all over again.
See, it's very doable.
Okay. So let's begin our session today with a little bit of a recap from yesterday, what we learned. Mm. Yesterday, there were so many multiple sessions, and you learned a lot, who you are, especially that the healing energy resides within. And we all have the power to go within and tap into that reservoir. And the way to really access the reservoir of healing energy that resides within is by the first and foremost, most important step is to remember who I am. Yesterday you were told that there are two dimensions. One is physical dimension and another is a spiritual dimension. So what is my reality? What we see with our physical eyes is not who I am, but I am more than that, because physicality is all about limitations. We limit ourselves in this physical world of matter. But when we change our perception and we start looking at the reality that is the spirituality, the spiritual being that we are, then we are able to access that healing reservoir of energy. And that energy is in many different forms. It's in the form of love, in the form of peace, in the form of happiness. And this is what we all actually yearn for. Just like oxygen is needed for this body, physical body, without oxygen, we cannot survive. Similarly, without peace, love, and happiness, the soul cannot survive. And it is actually the soul which has become diseased. Body gets diseased later on. But before that, it is the soul that has to that goes through all these problems, especially because when we start picking up the negativity from the outside world, like you were told yesterday, this world is full with negative energy of fear. There's so many different types of fear that people are holding on to. Yesterday, we talked about death, fear of death in so many different forms. So if we hold on to this negative energy, then we won't be able to, we are kind of blocking our access to that healing reservoir of energy. So it's important for us to again and again remind ourselves that I am not this physical body, but I am a spiritual being. So that remembrance, in very simple terms, we can say that yoga means remembrance. Usually when people talk about yoga, and they think about maybe learning a difficult posture, right? That is what people think about yoga. But here we understand that yoga means, yes, of course, connection with my true self, but in simple words, we can say that yoga means remembrance. Remember who you are. You know what happens in today's world? We remember those things which we need to forget, and we forget those things which we need to remember. Important things we forget, and least important things we hold on to, right? So yoga means remembrance. Remember who you are. And the moment I remember who I am, I step into that beautiful spiritual dimension, which is full with, like I said, full with healing energy. You know, when something happens to the physical body, people run to see a doctor, right? If somebody has fever, and especially nowadays, if somebody has fever, they think about going to a doctor and get themselves checked up. So the understanding that we get here is that there is inner doctor that's already there. And that inner doctor is actually the soul itself. Soul knows what you need. Because see, the body is manifesting all the diseases because, like I said before, soul is sick. So who is the one who can really treat the soul? Who is the one? First, you need to go within and you have to consult your inner doctor. Just like, you know, in the physical world, you first go to a general physician to get yourself treated, right? General physician will give you maybe a list of tests that you have to go through all these investigations, and then I will know what is the problem inside your body, right? Similarly, if we are having, for example, a lot of fear, anger, anxiety, these are the diseases of the soul actually. The soul has become very sick. Soul is sick with anger, soul is sick with fear, soul is sick with anxiety. So if the soul is sick, then the soul has to go somewhere to get itself treated, right? Mind has become so sick. Mind has to go somewhere to get itself treated, right? So initially you go within in meditation. What we do, we go within and we try to access our own reservoir of healing energy. That's like as if going to our own pharmacy and trying to get the treatment from inside. But if we are not able to get right treatment, or if we want maybe a specialist, right? If general physician is referring you to a specialist, maybe go to a kidney doctor or cardiac doctor or neurologist, then you take steps and you go there, right? So similarly here, if we want to go to a specialist, that specialist who is expert in everything, who is the one who is really the soul doctor, who can treat the soul. And here comes the connection with that higher power, the higher energy, the ultimate healer. And in Raj Yoga meditation, we learn how to connect not only with our inner doctor, but also with that supreme healer, the supreme healer who is the ocean of healing energy. God is the ocean of healing energy. You can call that higher power by various names. But what we understand is that that higher power, that universal force, is very powerful. And it is said that God created us in his own image, right? We all have heard this statement that God created us in his own image. So what is his image? Now you know who you are. You are a being of light. That is your image, right? So we are beings of lights. That's my image. And when God is saying that I created you in my own image, that means God is also a point of light. So that is his image. So when God created us in his own image, Our image was very beautiful, very pretty. We were very pure. The light that we are is not impure, but it was, in the beginning, it was very pure. This is how we were created. That is the original form of the soul. That is the originality. But what happened when we came in contact with this physical world, the physicality, in the beginning, we were completely healthy. But over a period of time, what happened? This physical connection with the connection of the soul with the physical body, it caused impurity. It brought impurity in the soul because of the connection with the physical world. So it's important to again reconnect with that supreme being, the higher power, so that he can transform us once again into our original form, that is the healthy form, our healed form, and that is the pure form. There is another saying that cleanliness is next to godliness, right? So we have to make ourselves very clean. Only when we are clean, we will be able to tap into that divine energy, because he is very clean. So we have to make this connection with that divine energy by making ourselves clean, at least to some extent. And this is where Raj Yoga meditation helps us. We begin our journey of meditation with cleansing our mind. And the way to cleanse our mind is by remembering who we are. This reminder that I am a being of light. The moment we remember that this is who I am, the cleansing process actually starts. So in meditation, we first remember that this is who I am, and then I, the point of light, connect with that higher power. He is also a point of light. So there is this connection between the 2 points of lights. And just like this physical body of matter is made up of tiny particles, atoms. Atom is the smallest particle of matter, right? And there is another word that is very similar to atom, that is Atma. That's a Sanskrit word. Atma means soul. So there is a similarity between the two words actually. This word, atom, has come from a Greek word, atmos, which means the essence. That's the essence. That means it cannot be broken down further. It's the essence of this physical body is that tiny atom. Similarly, the essence of the spiritual energy is the Atma, that is the soul. So when this point of light, the soul, is connected with another point of light, there is this point-to-point connection, then there is tremendous amount of energy that gets generated. It's like an explosion. How those people create atomic bombs, such a tiny particle, but it has tremendous energy. Similarly, the soul to soul connection is like that kind of explosion that happens. But that can happen only when the connection is appropriate, the connection is accurate. The accurate connection has to be there in order to really experience that tremendous amount of healing energy. And that is what we do in meditation. We say that God is purifier, right? So God is purifier. That means it's like a fire that gets generated. Just like, when we rub two stones during ancient times, people used to create fire by rubbing two stones. So here it's like rubbing the soul with the supreme soul. When both soul and supreme soul come together, then there is this fire that gets generated. And in this fire, what happens? The soul The soul is actually, originally, like I said, it was very pure, but over a period of time, it becomes impure. So soul is pure like gold. Hmm? It's like gold. But when gold gets impure, because of the alloys that get mixed with the gold, the, the only way to purify gold is by putting gold into fire, right? So similarly, this soul, which was once upon a time sparkling gold, like gold, real gold, it has to be put in this fire of, we call this as fire of yoga, fire of this connection. When we connect with that divine energy, we are able to generate this fire. And in this fire of yoga, the soul, the soul is able to get rid of all the impurities that are in the form of all these negative energies, the anger, greed, attachment, ego, lust. This is actually the seed of illness, the seed of all the problems that we see in today's world. The stresses, they're coming from all these vices. So, and this is the reason why it is so important to connect with that supreme energy, so that we are able to destroy all these vices from the soul. And then when these vices are gone, they are melted away, then the soul comes back to its original form, pure form. And that actually is so healing. And yesterday you were told, if you remember, you were told how people had such good experiences when they were very close to their death. They just felt as if they have that out of body experiences, and they left the body and they felt that they were surrounded by beautiful light, and almost all of them felt that unconditional love coming to them, and that light, that warmth of love and light, that actually healed them. Many of them said that they didn't even want to come back because it was so comforting, so healing, right? So that experience that they had, that was actually because of the presence of God. It was God's energy that they were able to experience in that dimension. And they were able to experience that only because they were away from the physical body, away from everything of this physical body, in another dimension. So we don't have to leave our body to experience that. We can be in our body and we can experience the same thing that they experienced. What a senior yogi in this organization, he called that as insperience instead of experience. Experience that while we are in this body, we can experience the same love, same unconditional love that people experienced when they were out from this body. So we use a lot of visualization to have that experience. Okay, so now maybe we can take a moment to really experience that light that yesterday you experienced, but now today we will feel that light coming from God, the Supreme, the ultimate healer. So I invite you to just take a moment and prepare yourself for this beautiful experience of connecting with the divine, the ultimate healer, because that is what we are aiming for in this session: complete healing. So the first step in this journey of healing is to remember who you are, a being of light. So stabilize yourself in this awareness that I am a tiny spark of light, a child of God. God created me in His own image. Remember that you are originally a pure being of light. In this powerful awareness, now you see yourself stepping out from this physical dimension and entering into a realm of light, realm of silence, where there is only and only peace. This is the quantum world of healing, where God resides, the ocean of healing energy resides here. And the moment you enter into this dimension of light, you receive a very warm welcome from God Himself. And now you see yourself very close to this divine light. This divine light is giving you an experience of belongingness. The soul is connected to the Supreme Soul. Point to point connection. Feel this moment of healing. When you are one with God. His light is embracing you, filling you with His pure energy of love. In God's presence, impossible becomes possible. You begin to absorb His pure light. The soul, which has become so dry, so empty, so sick, in the presence of God, soul starts to become full again. God's light is penetrating the soul like a laser beam. Feel His light entering you. He is like a surgeon operating on the soul, making sure that the soul completely heals. Feel as if He is giving you the injection of love, and this love is magical. It completely heals the soul, completely recharges the soul. Feel the power coming towards you from the Supreme. The power that you can use to change your thoughts, your beliefs, your perceptions, your consciousness. Because in order to change, definitely you need power. And that power you can easily draw from this divine source, the Supreme. As the soul continues to absorb this energy, you begin to feel very full, very contented, very happy, very light, very fresh. Now you bring yourself to here and now, to the awareness of this space wherever you are. And I invite you to open your eyes if they are closed. Om Shanti. So this was just to give you an experience of how it feels like to make that connection with the divine energy. And more than the connection, it's about relationship. Here we are learning not only to connect with God, but how we can relate ourselves to God. In worldly life also, we see that we are connected to many people, but we are related to only few. And whoever we are related to, we feel that closeness, right? So when we make this, when we forge this relationship with God, we start to see ourselves coming very close to Him. So we see God as our Father, as our Mother, as our teacher, as our guide, as our surgeon, family surgeon, family doctor. And we can reach out to Him whenever we want. We don't even have to take an appointment. It's so easy to go to Him whenever we want. We can reach out to Him, and we can get the injection, we can get the medicine from Him, and we can quickly heal ourselves. Many times we do this practice, whenever we feel that the body is getting little tired, or body is having little bit of fever or anything, what we do is this exercise. So healing, very, very beautiful experience you get the moment you connect with that supreme healer. And now I would like to maybe ask you if you have any kind of questions before I move on to another
Yeah,
segment that I
Ka-
have for you.
Kalyani has shared. Kalyani, would you like to speak up, or would you like me to read what you have written? I can read it. I may not. I don't see her speaking, so that's fine. I can read. She has written, "Good morning. I am a cancer survivor, and I'm 100% sure that Rajaga meditation and quantum healing made my cancer journey a pleasant adventure." And she has said something very beautiful. In a way, I feel blessed after this diagnosis because it made my life much more meaningful. Yeah, after this incident. That's so true. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And Kanishta, Ashok ji has asked, for healing, how many times and for how long should the visualization be done per day? And huh?
Yeah, it's a very good question actually. Many people ask that how long should we meditate? And what we say that meditation is actually, if you really want to heal, then you need to make meditation part of your life. Just like every morning you get up and you brush your teeth. Similarly, every morning when you get up, the first thought that you should create if you really want to heal is asking the self, who am I? And now you know the answer that you are a spiritual being. So
a,
you
to-
have to,
a
huh?
totally healed spiritual being.
Yeah, completely healed, a pure being. So say to yourself, remind yourself that this is who I am. It is as if you turn on the light. Huh? Just like, if there is darkness in the room, the moment you turn on the switch, you begin to see everything clearly. Similarly, in the morning time, you get up and you turn on the switch of awareness. This is who I am. So the moment you become aware of who you are, you begin to see everything clearly. And
Yeah,
you are able to also connect with the divine energy, and the healing starts to happen.
everything starts to fall in its place, the right place, as soon as you start with that thought. Uh,
Yeah. So for the beginners, we say that at least 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes before you go to bed. That's a good start. Mm, You can do that. But
you can try
as
to
time,
do, you can
huh?
try to do every hour on the hour.
Yeah,
You can
that we call as traffic control. We call this as traffic control in Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga meditation practice. Every hour for 1 minute, we stop. We stop whatever we are doing, just to stop for a minute and go within and see what's going on in your mind. Whatever is happening in your mind, just put a full stop and give yourself this thought, I am a pure being, and
heal,
connect with
pure
divine being.
healed being, completely healed being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is how you can recharge yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that
And
question was actually from Arti,
Yeah,
but yeah.
okay, okay, Jyoti ji.
no, just, I mean, it's good to do it as much as possible, but the bare minimum I wanted to know, like, at least 3 times a day or twice a day to
Yeah. So,
begin with.
yeah.
And we kind of started doing the traffic control already, both of us. We try to,
Good.
which is really nice.
There
Uh,
is a good app that we were told about in the in the last retreat that we had, and the app on Apple on iPhone is B Zone,
Mm-hmm.
BEEZONE.
Yes.
And actually, there are two
Yeah.
big zones. One is the yellow colored, and the other one is black. The black one is for shopping. This is for everybody. It has traffic control and everything. B
Yeah.
zone.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Please don't. And happy dote is another one.
Happy.
Dote.
Happy Dot. You
Oh,
can chat. You can
okay.
put that in the chat box
Uh,
maybe,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
people know.
Yeah. Also, yeah, yeah. Basically, see it not just traffic control that every hour on the hour, but I like also connect this to some of the activities that I do on a regular basis. In a way, rituals. And I'm not talking about those rituals that people would do. In a
Puja.
way those are important too, but like Kanishta was saying, that you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth and then you take a shower, and there's a particular way you take a shower, the particular way you get dressed, and so on and so forth. So that is also a ritual in a way, right? So, and what that does is it creates a habit in your mind, deep inside you, that you kind of become that kind of an automaton. And similarly, if you start creating that consciousness, and connecting that consciousness with a certain action that you perform on a regular basis. Yeah, for example, you're going to shower, and like I do, what I try to do is, as soon as I get into the shower, I feel as if, as the water is falling on me, feel as if this is God's healing energy that is coming on me, and I'm becoming completely healed, for
Okay.
example. And then, like, whenever I drink water, I try to remind myself that I am a healed being, and this water that I'm drinking is water of healing, or healed water, and it's blessed water. It is coming into me, and each molecule is bursting inside my body, and filling my body with all the positivity, all the healing that I need. Every food bite that I take, I try to do that as well. The food is exploding in my mouth, inside my body, into all these beautiful molecules of healing. Things like this. That way, it will help. But truly speaking, it is a complete shift in consciousness that is truly going to heal us the way we want us to be healed. And for that, it is either all or none phenomenon, really. It is not 50-50. You
Mhm.
see, the problem is that if we, um, for a little bit, we give ourselves this thought that I am a healed soul, completely healed. My paralysis is gone, my cancer is gone, so on and so forth. Yeah. But then, well, we do it for 5 minutes, and the rest 55 minutes, we go back to our old consciousness. I have cancer, I have this, I have that. That doesn't help. That doesn't help us stabilize in the new consciousness.
Right.
So, what I'm talking about, a complete change in our belief system, is truly a complete change. That 24/7, 365 days a year, we are in that consciousness. I'm healed. You
Okay.
see, otherwise, you think of it, your mind or brain, or how you want to look at it, is getting mixed messages.
Mhm.
I don't have cancer, I have cancer. I don't have paralysis, I have paralysis. I don't have this disease, I have this disease.
Oh,
And so brain gets confused. In fact, it could even worsen the situation a little
oh,
bit, not necessarily. You think of a child getting mixed messages. Yeah, you should eat sweets, you should not eat sweets. Like, what do I do now?
right.
So if we give it a very clear, crisp message, and a uniform message, a constant message, then the mind will be able to completely understand and respond to us favorably.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had mentioned to you about me having a heart problem, and I was trying this for 10 years and it did not work. Now you gave me the full explanation of that. So thank you.
Gee, thank you.
Yeah. So now let me share with you this PowerPoint presentation where I will show you how whatever you have learned so far about Raj Yoga meditation, visualization, how this has impacted people who were regular meditators, Raj Yogis, how they have used meditation to actually heal themselves. So I conducted a study in cancer survivors, and this was a qualitative study that I performed. And I interviewed these yogis. All these yogis have been meditating for the past more than 10 years. And I asked them what they did to heal their cancer. So the kind of experiences that they shared, I would like to share that with you all so that you will also know what Raj Yoga meditation, how this Raj Yoga meditation really helps in healing. So let me share the screen with you all. So this was a phenomenological analysis that I performed. That means this is the study of human experiences. Why I performed this study? Because I wanted to explore and understand the spiritual experiences of these long-term Brahma Kumaris, Raj Yoga meditation practitioners who had a history of cancer. So the results of this study, might open a new dimension of spiritual care for cancer survivors, and that can be applied to other life-threatening illnesses in different healthcare settings. So that was the idea why I performed this study. And this study might also help other researchers who are interested to learn more about the role of spirituality as a coping mechanism in cancer patients. So I interviewed these patients. Initially, actually, I conducted a pilot study with 3 survivors. And later on in my dissertation, I interviewed six participants. So after I interviewed them, I audio recorded. At that time, I audio recorded, and later on, I transcribed these interviews. Then I read those transcripts and reread at least 3 times to understand what they were trying to tell me. Okay, and then I came up with many themes, and the themes I'm going to share with you. These are the themes. These participants, they came up with beautiful experiences, and I consolidated them together and came up with these themes. So I will go over one by one these themes, how I came up with these themes, because what they shared was very pertinent to the themes that I'm going to share. So the first theme was about mental stability and clarity. When they were diagnosed with cancer, the first response, usually what is the first response? If somebody is told that you have cancer, the first response is usually denial. They don't agree, they don't accept that they have cancer. And if they don't accept, then they kind of waste a lot of time thinking and then again going back to the same thing over and over. So a lot of time and energy gets wasted. Here in these survivors, what I found that they easily accepted their cancer diagnosis. Like you see here, what the participants said, I didn't go into denial. I did not deny when I saw the results. Even if I did not do biopsy at that time, I knew something was wrong with me. And then they not only accepted their diagnosis, but they were very stable internally. Like you see here, what she said, when I was told that I had cancer, it had no effect on me whatsoever, no emotional effect. So there was no fear, there was no sadness, there was no depression, nothing. There was no emotional effect. That was just another normal day when you were told that you got a little bit of cough You need to take the medicine to get it fixed, and that is all. So see, their attitude was so positive right from the beginning when they were told about their illness. And then they were very open minded. They tried every non-conventional treatment. One of the participants said that I also tried raw food diet, and you know stayed on that for 9 months. So their mind was also very open, not just conventional treatment, but they were trying many other things. And their positive attitude, their positive perception, everything that happens is a learning experience, and here is a perfect situation to practice that this is just a test, this is just a situation, and can I maintain my steadiness and my willingness to learn from this experience? So that is what I was doing. Don't think of what you are losing in your life, look what you are gaining through this experience. So how positive these participants were. So I came up with my own definitions. I won't go into the definitions at this time, because then it will take a long time. But their experiences actually, stimulated my mind, and I came up with my own definitions. Then the second theme was about connection with the self and connection with the divine, that I'll come to later on. But now the belief that we were talking about, the belief that you are not this physical body, but you are a soul. So this practice was actually ingrained in these participants. They believed that they are not the physical body. The body is a useful instrument, but it may need repair. So I thought that I might need a repair. I didn't think it was a desperate circumstance. So they uh, believed in that separation, physical and spiritual separation. Like one participant said, I used to get up very early to do my meditation, like 2 o'clock. And then I used to look forward to doing something more spiritual with the time that I had. And then because they had a lot of clarity, a lot of stability, that helped them to discern and decide. They said that I had the power that was needed to deal with situation, to be able to understand what was happening, to be able to not to be affected or influenced, because I know this fact that people go through stages of depression and feel very sad and lonely and all of that. But through the practice of meditation, it gave me so much inner power and inner strength. And then the third theme was about their relationship with God. They really experienced many different relationships with God, and they felt that God was their companion. I would literally have these thoughts of exchange with my buddy, and he would help me through some of the rough times of whatever on the roller coaster of life. We also say that meditation is, in meditation, we dialogue with the self and we dialogue with God. So one participant said that in my meditation, I talk to the creator, I talk to God, and amazingly, I was getting with such rich relationship of my meditation. It gave me so much power to take me through the whole journey without any difficulty at all. So they were actually sharing whatever was happening with them. They were able to share it with God, and that was giving them the power. And they completely surrendered to God, because they believed that the body that they were having belongs to God. Body does not belong to them. So they surrendered this body. The body is not there, so they were just living like a trustee. So they said that I just let go of everything and said, okay, I'm in your hands. I became very, very light. From that day until today, never I had any kind of negative experience of depression thoughts of what if, this can happen. I just let it go. So letting go is very important. So that is how they make themselves very light. God as a protector. I gave myself this instruction that this radiation, while they were receiving the therapy, radiation therapy, they just surrendered and they felt as if God is there with them. That this radiation is entirely beneficial, and I put myself in the state of meditation during that, lie there, just be connected to the higher source, the true healing light of God, and let the science do its part. So the body was receiving the radiation, and the soul was receiving the healing light from God. And that actually helped them with treatment as well. They got positive results from their radiation therapy as well. God as a comforter. So I never see chemo as toxin. One patient, when she was undergoing chemotherapy, she shared her experience that I never see chemo as toxin, but I could see myself in front of Baba. We call God as Baba here in Brahma Kumaris. So I go and then lie down in Baba's lap. He was holding my hand. Baba is a kind of morphine. He would take out the pain and okay, a little bit. He is my morphine. So yesterday we talked about endorphins, right? Inner morphine. So they were able to generate their own morphine by making God as their comforter, as their healer. So that connection, that relationship with God really helped them to release the chemicals, those chemicals from the body that were helping them with their pain. And then they continuously, they were practicing many different techniques during their meditation. Like they were focusing more on the spiritual thoughts. Spiritual thoughts are very high quality thoughts. So harnessing the healing power of spiritual thoughts. So one participant said that there are cancer cells which are destroying healthy cells. And so if you have negative thoughts about it, you are going to have negative thought cells that destroy the healthy thought cells. And then your mind becomes messed up. So your mind will also be messed up. So that's why she was very particular about not generating any negative thought in her mind. And then the practice of detachment, that really helped them. Transcendence, we were talking about that yesterday. So these people were able to really detach themselves from the physicality, from the physical body. So the participant said that we no longer see the body as the part of who we are, but only a vehicle that we are using to get our job done. So we actually separate from that physical attachment to the body, and it's like having a car that needs to be repaired, but you still love the car because you need to use it and you have been using that car for a long time. So we learn to love the body, this car. So they were exiting from the car. They were taking themselves to that uh, ultimate healer, getting themselves treated, and then they're coming back. Soul was getting the treatment, and when that soul, the healed soul, was entering the body also was getting a lot of energy. So it was like double effect. Then the most important practice that all of them did was soul consciousness. And in that practice, they would see themselves as beings of light. I am this element of light which is not connected to the body. So they were taking themselves, they were detaching themselves from the body and taking themselves into that realm of spirituality. So which is not connected to the body, but I can give the power of the rays of light that I have connected to the Supreme with that experience. Then they did a lot of visualization to connect with God. So instead of thinking it was poison going on my arm, especially when they were receiving treatment, at that time they used God. They got a lot of support from God's healing energy. So she said, I would think it's spiritual light and power entering my arm and filling me with spiritual strength. So we actually become master over matter and we can play with it. We can make it into entertaining. So she was really, it was like entertaining for her. Taking the therapy was entertaining. Then also the practice of silence that really helped these souls. It has convinced me until today that if I spend more time, extra time in silence and meditation, quieten the mind, then I can open up in receiving guidance and you know exactly what has to be done. So in silence, they were able to know what needs to be done, and the kind of treatment that was needed, kind of doctor that uh, they needed. Everything was coming to them very clearly. So in soul consciousness, so these are some of the experiences that will really help you understand what they were doing. I did not feel that I was a patient. This patient said that, if somebody would come and see me as a patient, then I would say, no, I am not a patient. My body is ill, but I am not ill because I am a soul. So I did not feel that I was a patient. I just feel that the body was very, very weak. It was very weak. Sometimes I can't get out of the bed. I realized I am not my hair. I'm not my breast and hair. I'm not this body. Well, I am a soul, I am pure. The fact that my natural nature is that of well being, is that of love, peace, purity. I become aware that within my soul are these divine and spiritual qualities. I'm eternal, I'm good, I never die and never die. If somebody asks me, how are you? I will say, I am fine, I'm not lying. If they ask, how is my health? Then I would say, not good, but I am fine. There is a huge difference between the two, huge. I am not my body. I know that. I know it. So they would reply, I am not ill. The body is ill. The body is sick. But I am fine because I am a soul. I am a pure soul. So they got a lot of support from God. Like I said before, I automatically was supported by that eternal light of divine intelligence and all virtues and powers, abilities that I can receive from God over time during meditation. And another thing that these participants were doing was their daily spiritual dose, in the form of spiritual knowledge that they were taking on a regular basis. Even though they were so sick, but still every day they would educate themselves with the teachings from God. So this participant said, I feel I can extract the strength of what I am reading. So that was the main source of that support and strength to keep me going, to be strong and healthy in a way. And then they also received a lot of support from the healthcare personnel. So on one side I had cancer, and on the other side I was in such beautiful hands, powerful hands. So that was about the surgeon. They also got a good environment, healing environment that helped them heal as well. And then support from spiritual family. The Dadi Janki, she was the chief of Brahma Kumaris. She was actually 104 years old, and recently she left her um, mortal coil in the month of March. But that time when I interviewed these survivors, she was still alive. So this participant said that she got a lot of support from Dadi Janki. She said that he wants to talk to you. Dadi Janki wants to talk to you. And I don't remember the wordings, but she said, call me every day. So, we were calling her every day from the hospital and she was taking the call. So she was giving them, these participants, that support that they needed at that time. Then their outcomes, they had many beautiful health outcomes. They were able to maintain, like I said, they were able to educate themselves even though they were so sick, but still. So she said, I was also able to access the regular spiritual class that we have every morning. So every morning I would be reading that anyway. Meditation I can do while I was sitting on the chair a few hours having the chemo. So while she was on chemo, she was meditating, and also she was reading the spiritual material that she had. And then they were able to recover very fast. I always feel the blessing coming from them, the spiritual family friends, although it was incognito, but that gives me quick recovery. I can see the recovery was very quick. After 2 weeks, I had to go for a job. So I started my work. I was taking train. I was going in the train to my job after 2 weeks, just 2 weeks of surgery. This person started his job. Remarkable recovery. Then there was also spiritual growth that these participants experienced while they were facing cancer. They got many insights, many realizations, and some of them shared that this being came in front of me in terms of an experience, very powerful energy, made me realize I haven't in the past properly utilized him that much. Time was giving me such beautiful experience, taking me through this journey. This was not a human experience. This experience was nothing to do with any human being, and I realized that this was what I wanted, and this was what I should experience more with, and there will always be success in whatever I do. That was a realization, profound realization. And then these participants also felt that they were becoming more and more virtuous, more humble, more empathetic, more understanding. Like this participant said, I can actually be more empathetic to other people who have gone through the same thing, and more supportive. Also, more they became like servers. They started serving others. So this person said that I got a call in the morning at 4 o'clock that can you be here at 6 o'clock. I said okay, because they forgot that I had chemotherapy. They called me and I said okay. I did not say no, I have a therapy and I can't come. I still went, and they looked at me and they said, oh, you came. I said you called me, but then maybe they were thinking internally not to make a call, but that is the support we have with the family. So they were able to even serve, not just taking treatment, taking support from others, but they became servers, and that helped them grow as well. They also became an inspirational model for others. Like this participant said, if you ask the people I was living with, they will tell you I would be in the kitchen, I would be helping, I would be doing many things. I feel it was coming more from mental energy and spiritual energy for me to inspire me that I am doing all this stuff that I need to do and be normal. I mean, no one would know that I was going through the treatment unless I told them. It was amazing. So this was the model that I came up with. And so the main thing that we have to really focus on is who am I? And this is a very beautiful thing that I would like to share with you, is that Albert Einstein, he came up with this formula that ego is equal to 1 upon knowledge. More the knowledge, lesser the ego. Lesser the knowledge, more the ego. So I was thinking about this, which knowledge usually in worldly, if we look around in this physical world, if somebody has a lot of knowledge, they have more ego, right? But if we take this spiritual knowledge, the knowledge that we are getting from the divine, the more we understand this knowledge, put this knowledge in practice, the more we are able to let go of ego. And this is the beauty of Raj Yoga meditation, that it's a whole package. It's not just meditation, but you get a lot of wisdom. Spiritual knowledge that you get is so rich that your meditation becomes very experiential. Okay, and these are some of the quotes from the philosophers. They had said that Socrates, it is coming from him. Soul is the invisible center where the powers of intelligence and the great capacity for knowing are located. Goodness is at the seat of the soul. And in Raj Yoga meditation, we learn that the seat of the soul is here at the center of our forehead, and this is why this is where we focus our attention, so that we sit here, and then from here we can see ourselves ruling our mind, ruling our body. And then there is another quote: what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And what lies within us is completely different world, the inner world of healing. And that's where we need to focus on. Okay, so I think yeah, this finishes this segment. Om Shanti.
Om
Can
Shanti.
you please show the slide which showed the total thing before who am I?
Okay, let me share this with you. This one? Yeah, so this is the whole model that I have come up with. It has all the themes that I described. Okay.
Thank you.
Shubhra and Sandhya. I forgot if that's Sandhya or Shubhra. And she has an experience to share as well.
Yes, Om Shanti. First of all, I want to really thank both of you for the wonderful, wonderful experience. Um, we had attended last year also in Peace Village, but that was also amazing experience. But this particular one for this weekend was just amazing. I want to tell you that you both have really poured your heart into it. I can see it, and I
What else? So there is one question that Shivinder has asked. Question was whether these yogis were practicing before diagnosis, and the answer is yes. Then said
Yes.
quantum healing should help in prevention and reversal both, and creating right environment with correct diet, sleeping routine, exercise should help. I just want to say that many times there is this thought in many people's minds that if you are a meditation practitioner, you should never have any medical problems. But yeah, in a way, it seems counterintuitive, right? On one hand, you have learned how to heal yourself, then why can't you prevent illnesses from happening? Well, one thing to understand is that we are all work in progress. We are constantly trying to evolve to the higher consciousness of functioning, where we can stabilize ourselves 24/7 at, yeah, in that consciousness that we are completely healed. And so we go back and forth, and that negative energy that we create when we are back in that body conscious state, and also we have been carrying a lot of baggage with us. it, we have realized only now, right? Say somebody has started practicing, say 20 years back. So before that, we were still in body consciousness, if you will, the term that we use in Brahma Kumaris, that is in stuck in the physicality, stuck in the matrix, and that negativity still lingers on. It takes time to clear up that negativity, clear away that baggage, to be able to stay in that heal state too. So these things will happen, one thing, but also, why do we even look at these problems, these illnesses as bad? Yeah. Why do we see cancer or other debilitating diseases as bad? Yeah, they take us to a higher level of understanding of life, higher level of respect for all of humanity, for ourselves, and a much deeper connection to God. So in a way, these can be blessings in disguise, like Kalyani ji was saying right earlier. These can be blessings in disguise. It depends on how we look at it. Yeah, in a way, I always like to see, say, and I've said this so many times, our biggest curses, if you will, can become our biggest blessings. Hopefully that answers your question. And uh,
I think
yeah,
Priscilla, she has raised her hand.
yes, Priscilla, go ahead. Let me unmute you up.
Hello, such a short comment. I'm not a native speak, so I'm trying to express myself with my English. So I really thank you, both of you, to share your experience. I'm facing a thyroid cancer. In the first time, it was really hard to me to understand and to try to face that. So when I saw this retirement, I feel in my soul I need to stay there, and this technology helps a lot, as you told. So I really, really want to thank you because I feel that the step you said today and yesterday, you helped me a lot. So thank you, and thank you all of the participants to share the experience. That's how can I say, encourage me to go ahead and try another kind of treatment. So thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla. That was a lovely sharing. Yeah, and you don't have to know the same language.
Yeah.
It's the language of the heart, language of the soul.
But even though your English also is very good, you share so beautifully in English.
Yeah, very well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I guess with this we can end. And anything else, Kanisha, you have in your mind? Um, I um,
Yeah.
I I don't think there's time for anything else now, but I was thinking
Yeah.
we can share a blessing for everyone, and I will open that.
Yeah, I think we have another thing to share at the end. The takeaway, right? The handout, takeaway handout that we used last year. Maybe this will help everyone. So I'll share the screen and I'll go over it. Okay. Before you share the blessing. Okay, let me see where it is. Yeah, here it is. So take home message from the sessions that you had. Mind has an immense capacity to heal. The conscious mind holds the power of conscious thoughts and beliefs. Positive thoughts create positive beliefs, which create a positive healing environment. Our unconscious mind holds the power of habit. We are whatever habits are. So it's important to change our negative, unhealthy habits to new, positive, and healthy ones. Healthy thoughts lead to healthy actions, repetition of which lead to healthy habits, but the process is long and arduous. A shortcut to creating healthy habits is to learn to harness the power of the subconscious mind, the power of visualization. Visualization helps fool the unconscious mind as if an action has occurred. Repeated visualization therefore means repeated action being performed for the unconscious mind, therefore creating a shortcut leading to a new positive habit in a very short time. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Visualization requires it to be vivid, precise, and needs to be a whole brain experience, and as if it has already been achieved to be truly effective. Factors that also play a vital role in the effectiveness of the visualization process are the patient's beliefs about the disease, beliefs about the treatment, as well as the beliefs about the body's defense mechanism and the healing process. Visualization can be of various types, which can be used in combination or individually: process imagery and state imagery and evocative imagery. A combination of positive thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, perceptions, and habits coupled with a positive visualization practice, will lead to a healthy you.
Kanisha, you
Om
could send
Shanti.
this as a chat. You can send it in the chat for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we are coming to the end of the retreat. I know we would love to keep going. There is so much to share, there's so much to learn together. We would have loved to hear more from all of you. We're happy to, if you feel that you want to share something which you didn't get a chance to, you're welcome to share right now. And we can then move towards the conclusion with a blessing, right? And usually when you come to Peace Village, you will always get a sweet. And although we don't have a physical sweet, but our positive thoughts for all of you will be the sweet that you can take with you. And yeah, is somebody trying to say something?
How do I get to save what Ms. Kanishta just said? How do I get to say? I'm trying to save it in the chat.
Yeah, so when you, per Kanishta, I don't see it coming to everyone. Did
Let
you
me
send
see.
it privately to someone?
No, let me see what I did.
Or you, and if it is in the Dropbox, I can send it in the
Yeah,
right.
it's in the Dropbox. Take home.
Yeah, the take home thing.
Yeah, I sent it just now. See, did you get
Yeah,
that?
now yeah. If you just click on it, click to download, it'll come to your computer.
It's coming by email.
No, in this chat itself, we can send it to through email too eventually, but right now itself you can take it. It's in the chat. Do you see it? Take home message. Just the gist of all those things that we
No,
spoke.
it is not. It is not showing up in the chat.
Yeah, it's not.
How is it possible? Uh, 1 second.
I can see it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try. I'll try from my end. Let me try from my end.
And also, I have sent one death handout. We have
No,
one death
that's not
handout.
there either.
So, death handout also I have sent.
So now do you see anything? I sent take home message again. No?
Yes, we got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we are able to see it now. Mhm.
And what about the death handout?
Yes.
I think I'm on iPhone. That may be the reason.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
probably because I'm on the phone too. That could be the reason.
right. And I guess if you go to the chat section, you should still see it. But in any case, we will send it as email.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I think some technical issue. I think on phones it is not showing that.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, please don't worry. We'll send it anyways. Okay, so then the blessing as we end, let's see this blessing. I don't know if you can see. No, not yet. Tanisha, you can read the blessing once it shows up. Um,
So, this is a universal blessing for everyone. Healing blessing, understanding, trusting, forgiving, acknowledging all are expression of who you are, who you truly are. And who you truly are, love. So, this is your personal blessing for each one of you. If you use this blessing on a regular basis, you will see yourself healing very fast.
and Kanisha, now Kalyani is back on. She would like to share her experience.
Om Shanti, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Finally. Well, thank you so very much to both of you because, it was just amazing. I didn't have name for this quantum healing, but now it's so clear. That's what helped me. And I just want to share this experience with everyone. Just to give a little background, I'm a physician, practicing in Chicago. And as a physician, you're kind of always that type A personality, just running around, getting things done, managing your family and your practice. So I was very focused on my physical health. I did the yoga and all the exercise, followed the right diet. And around in 2017, I got this diagnosis that I have the cancer. At that time, I did not believe that I could get cancer because I was doing everything, as I would, preach my patients, the exercise, right, eat the right food. But then it gave me a year of really going within me. A lot of introspection happened that year. And what I realized was I was practicing all the necessary things to maintain my physical health, but I completely ignored the inner me. I was not focusing on what my true feelings were. I had the same expectations of excelling in the career, a lot of attachment with the family, expecting a lot from the relationship. So I was really having all of those so-called negative feelings within me that actually translates to a physical disease. Though I actually was focusing on doing aerobic exercises, yoga, it didn't help a lot because I was completely ignoring the inner self. So I think that year gave me a sort of a sabbatical year to really understand where I went wrong in all these years, just focusing on my physical health. And so I really did openly accept this diagnosis because I thought this is what I really needed to transform myself. And it was so interesting. I was not a BK practitioner at that time. I did not know anything about Brahma Kumaris. And it just so happened a friend of mine who taught me some breathing exercises like 10 years ago came into my life exactly at that point when I had the diagnosis. And she, shared what she's been practicing for about a couple of years. And then I said, like, wow, this is what actually I was looking for all these years. And she just showed up when I got this diagnosis. And that's when my BK journey started, my Raj Yoga meditation started. And from that point on, it was just an amazing experience. Just like Kanishta Ben, who was sharing the experiences of other Raj Yogis, I had the same experience when I went through the chemo and radiation. And all I felt was like these things were really the chemo, the radiation was just healing me. And I just separated myself, saying, okay, I am not this body. I'm going to become the master healer of this body, which I ignored all these years. And now it's time for me to really help it heal so I can continue serving the true purpose in my life. And so I have to say, I did chemo prior to the surgery because they thought it was a very aggressive cancer. So I went for 6 months of chemo and then I went for surgery, and it was just amazing. They did not find any cancer at all. You know, it just disappeared. So what they had planned a major radical surgery, but when my surgeon went there and said, you know what, I could not find any cancer, and it became just a local, very small scale surgery, and I came out of it completely fine. So, I can really relate to everything that Kanishta Ben was sharing. Like, if you treat if you separate yourself and you say to your body that you can heal it, every chemo, every radiation, every therapy that's out there can actually heal you rather than causing any side effects. And I'm a physician. I've seen people suffering from chemo and radiation, and luckily I did not have any of those adverse effects at all. And here I am 3 years post surgery, completely fine. And I just wanted to also say, like, yes, being a BK practitioner for years definitely would have helped me, but it is not too late. I think sometimes we think, well, you have to be all of these practitioner for years to have the benefit. It's not. Even if you start today, I think you will achieve the same maximum benefit. And what I realized was, I was healing our patients. I was taking care of their physical ailments. I'm a nephrologist. So all I dealt with patients with kidney diseases. So I was so focused on healing their physical ailments. But after this experience, I realized I need to start spending time and healing their inner self, so that that translates to their healing their own body. So I feel I'm a much better physician, rather actually a true healer of both their physical and their emotional well-being. And to me, at the end of the day, this was like a perfect dance with perfect choreography. That's how I felt by supreme power, because I did not expect my friend to come into my life. I did not expect me to be introduced to Raj Yoga meditation. And I didn't know all of this would happen after this diagnosis. So I think, as Kanishta Ben was saying, you just have to open yourself to the universe. It's there to serve you. There's no right or wrong time. You just have to open your arms and welcome that healing energy, that supreme energy that's just waiting for you to open your heart, and it's there to serve you. So that's all I want to share. I mean, this whole experience taught me so much about myself, and also about our whole interconnectedness, how we are all connected to each other in a way that is beyond our minds. And I think we just have to welcome each other into our lives, because everybody is there to serve each other. It's just that we don't see it, but when we open our eyes and look at it, everyone is out there to help us grow in our own way and find our own purpose in life. So thank you so very much for listening to me, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. Appreciate it.
That was a beautiful experience that you shared. We stopped the live streaming on Facebook, yeah, because didn't know how comfortable you all would feel. But this was really lovely. I think if this had gone to Facebook, people across the world would hear it and learn so much from your sharing too. But yeah,
Yeah,
and
thank you for sharing your rich experiences. I feel like taking you as my next participant for my next study. You have such rich experiences.
Will do. I'm happy to contribute.
Yeah, and yeah, and I totally agree with you. It's not the duration, not just the duration, which helps, but also, really speaking, it is the intensity with which you start practicing. So, yeah, agreed. Yeah, all right. And so, what else? Kanisha, I think we can end, but what I was thinking, you remember the balloon story, that video?
Yeah, we
Maybe
forgot
that,
to.
and that would be a good, like an end to the whole thing, right? Little joy as
Right.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for remembering that. Yeah, yeah.
Right. There you go. This was actually shared with us by another BK meditation student. Um,
Thank you, everyone. It was a
love,
joy to be with all of you.
Thank
Keep
you.
flying and keep everyone flying as well.
Thank you
yeah,
so
lots of love, lots of good wishes, and we shall keep in touch. We'll
Okay.
send you more information in the email.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much. Bye, everybody.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
you.